Well, hello folks, and welcome to the Snow Church video for January 10th. Here we are, already 10 days into this marvelous month of January. Boy, can you believe it? Can you believe that this January's been so pathetic for snow? I can't. But as I did yesterday, and as I'm going to try to do going forward here, I'm going to take us to places that are getting snow. And today we're going to the Sierra Range in California, the Lake Tahoe area to be specific, and to be even more specific, the Heavenly Ski Area. And here we are at an elevation of, I probably need my glasses, 9,800 feet, almost 10,000 feet. You know, when I first brought this camera up, I thought, oh my gosh, that is a ski lift pole. But upon further inspection, I believe it's just one of those markers that shows you which trail is which. And then here is a live cam that has paused on me, but let's get it going live again. Maybe. Oh, it says reconnect now. Yes. Okay, there we go. This is a little further down the mountain, elevation 8,600 feet. But, you can see a lot of snow. I don't know. I'm going to try to blow this up a little bit. All right, so here is the bottom of one of the lifts, and you can see how it's, well, fairly well buried. They've got some digging out to do in order to get that lift running. Pretty incredible, if you ask me. Man, I think when I get older and retired, and I don't have anything to do, that third one being the key element, because I am older and I am retired, I may just, for a season or so, go chase snowstorms or something. I don't know. It just would be so cool to experience that kind of snow. I mean, we've had some dandy snows up here, don't get me wrong. But like to head to the east end of Lake Ontario or Lake Erie and experience one of those incredible lake effect snow events that they get there. I think that would be loads of fun. So at any rate, what do we got going on as far as 24-hour snowfall? Well, you get it again. The mountains in the west getting the lion's share of anything. The Midwest completely quiet. Right now we do have a little bit of light snow, maybe even freezing drizzle mixed in. It's all very, very, very light. You have to really look out the window and look very closely to catch it. But that's what our situation is here right now. In fact, it's not really even showing up on the old radar range. A few echoes trying to, but it's all so very light that it's not even being picked up. As far as the forecast goes, we don't really have a whole lot of changes from yesterday's thinking. It's still going to be a pretty quiet period with no big snow events. There are some rain seen. There are some light snow seen. Pretty similar to yesterday's idea, meaning this Wednesday, Thursday, we've got some snows for actually even as early as tomorrow. Some snows up across the North Woods. Let's illustrate that for you. Okay. This is actually Wednesday morning, or about Wednesday midday. And then we'll get out to Friday morning here. There. That's Friday morning. And the European model, which this is, still kind of the more rambunctious model for snows down there in lower Michigan and portions of northern Indiana, northern Ohio, and even this blob right here in eastern Kansas, western Missouri. I think this is certainly overdone and this is at least a little overdone. There will be these areas, both Wednesday and a good chunk of Thursday, would be seeing rains occur, and then on the back side of the low, you'd get a changeover to snow and some accumulation. But like I say, I think this is a little on the overdone side and shifted south from yesterday. Yesterday had it up here more in the northwoods of northern lower Michigan. So we'll see. And then if we run this right on out, not much going on. And then as we get into about Tuesday of next week, maybe a little bit of light snows, and this system comes in for Thursday. Long way out in the forecast and sort of in that la land where I'm going to tell you to not take it to heart. This would be wonderful if it happens. Let's hope for it. Let's pray for it. This is Snow Church. Bow your heads, everybody. Did you know that I am an ordained minister? Yes, I did get ordained for this Snow Church. I thought if I'm going to call myself a reverend, then I best be legit about it. Because I know it's not like I went to seminary school or the other schools that you can go to become a minister. But I am a man of faith, and I just thought I would not, do this as a joke with the whole reverend thing. So even though I'm not, like I say, an ordained from a widely recognized religion, I am an ordained minister. I don't think I want to do marriages though, so don't hit me up for that. I don't think I'm qualified for that, I guess, unless I knew the person's very, very well. Then I would think about it. Anyway, let's get back to the forecast. Let's take a look at the GFS, the US model. Again, a little bit of snows here. Well, this goes quick. This is tomorrow at midday, and then here is Friday morning. Yeah, Friday morning. I'm going to step back one click if I can, just so that we're at Friday morning around sunrise. And you can see that the snows in the Northwoods are pretty similar to what the European had, but the other snows, the wraparound snows, are much less significant and even further south. Poor California, still getting slammed. They're getting to the point now where they really may have some issues with spring runoff and things like mudslides and stuff. The snow that is falling out there and accumulating in the mountains is incredible. It is going to do wonders for their reservoirs. In fact, it'll be very, very interesting to see how far up these reservoirs come, because this is, I don't want to say historic amount of snows that they're getting, but it's getting into that range. It's highly unusual pattern for them, and highly unusual amounts of precipitation falling, not just in California, but all the way up the West Coast. So good thing for their water resources situation, and hopefully it doesn't become too much of a good thing. What do I want to show next? Well, let's run this out. If I'm correct in my remembering, the GFS does not have that storm towards the end of next week. Yes, it doesn't. See, it doesn't show up. Here we are at 240 hours, which is as far out as the European goes, and it doesn't indicate it. So here's the difference in the maps between those two time frames. And then if we run it all the way out to 16 days, really still not a whole lot to write home about. I mean, can you believe that? The next 16 days, this is what the GFS thinks how much snow is going to fall. I've seen it where we've got these bright yellows and almost white color up in here. You know, it is the middle of January, or forecasted to take us right through the middle of January. This would be the evening of January 25th. So let's hope things change before then, because this is getting ridiculous. The jet stream worldwide, again, don't concentrate on the southern hemisphere. Let's see if I can draw, do this. I'm also going to make it a little thicker. Okay. Now, I'm going to draw South America, but here's Mexico going up, Alaska, Canada, oh boy, Yucatan, Florida, roughly the United States, just so that we can get an idea of where we're at. So that's that. Unfortunately, as I learned yesterday, I have to lose all of this. I don't know why, but just the way the magic board works. I don't know if I can really blow this up. It's too bad we're not interested in the southern hemisphere, because I could really blow it up and keep the slider in. But at any rate, current status, and then as we go out, we still see that big jet streak out in the Pacific, but it does start to weaken. The other thing is this low that has for the past week or so been centered more over Siberia starts to elongate, push its way towards the Pacific Ocean and Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. I'll bring this through, and then I do want to show you another thing, well, two other things. So boom. All right, well, here's one thing I wanted to show you. We do start to get that, not a true omega block, but a decent ridge to form over Alaska, and this would be about January 23rd or so. We start to see a trough, and looky what is starting to appear. Our good friend, the polar vortex. Right over, not right over, but sort of elongated over Greenland, which is right here. And then the northern Canadian Arctic islands, I guess is the best way to put it. I don't know if there's an official name for those islands, but I know this big one's Ellesmere Island. And anywho, watch that polar vortex. It's starting to want to set up shop. Now, it doesn't fully do so. Why? Well, because this trough here over Russia is still elongated, and I don't know where we're going with this. I really don't know what's happening here. I hate when this happens. Oh, this is a sounding. Let's go back to our regularly scheduled program, shall we? Maybe not. At any rate, the trough over Siberia and far eastern Russia, Kamchatka Peninsula, it's too elongated. If we could get it to shrink on the western end and just be over the Kamchatka, then that polar vortex over northern North America would be allowed to expand, deepen, and really start sending the cold air down into the lower 48. So far, that's not seen, but it is something new. Yesterday, that polar vortex really wasn't in the model. So, as has been my thinking for about a week or so, I'm still thinking that as we get towards like the last half of January, especially the deeper we go into January, the better chances we have of seeing a colder and snowier pattern return to the Midwest. Whether it locks in or not is totally uncertain. But right now I'm still eyeballing that time frame for at least a pattern change to get us some cold and snow, for say maybe at least a week. I would love for it to lock in, but even expecting that pattern change to occur is a bit of a stretch just because it's so far out in the models. Okay, one last thing I wanted to show. I apologize for that map doing the hiccups, but at any rate, is surface temperature anomalies. So where you see the red warmer than average, where you see the blue colder than average, and look at how that red just stays in. Another one comes in. Look at how some unbelievable warmth respectively for Monday of next week up here in northern Ontario. Much warmer than average, and quite a bit warmer than average in the Midwest as well. Hate to see that kind of red in here. The only time I want to see that kind of red is in like late October and November, and also in April and May. Otherwise, if it's in the summer, then it's too hot, and if it's in the winter, it's not cold enough. So, at any rate, we can see how the blue just stays locked up here. Siberia is trying to expand itself east. Japan is right here, and the Kamchatka Peninsula is right here. Alaska right here. But it just, for whatever reasons, Siberia's wanted to hang on to the cold. And we can see the Midwest just still wanting to stay warm, but this is that polar vortex that I was talking about, and you can see these cold anomalies starting to build across far northern North America. We still have the warm anomalies in the northern United States, but if we can get this bugger to kind of just shift a little bit eastward, then it would be Katie bar the doors. So that's about the only exciting hope I have in the forecast today. But thanks for sticking with me today. And I will not be able to do a snow church tomorrow. I get to go to Marquette, yay, and have 5 skin cancers removed. No worries, folks. They're not the kind that can spread and everything, but at least immediately they're the surface ones and they're non-malignant and blah, blah, blah. I've had plenty of these things in the past, but still, it's no fun to get your skin scraped off. But that is my excuse for tomorrow. But unless they go too deep and chop off my head, I will be back here on Thursday. So have a great today, a great tomorrow, and keep those sticks on the ice. I'll talk to you again Thursday.